Hello everyone and welcome to Hoopsfest day number 3. We've got an exciting matchup for you here tonight with championship contention on the line here. It's the Adelaide Lightning taking on the Southside Flyers in what could be the championship decider. Both teams trailing Townsville at the moment on 12 points. Adelaide with a win plus 3/4 of a win will jump the Flyer. Flyers need to win all 4 quarters plus the game to get ahead of Townsville, sitting on those 12 points. Adelaide on 7 points, Southside on 6 points. This is a huge game. I cannot wait for this one. I am John Guarna. On commentary with me tonight, we've got Jacinta Govin. Jacinta, it's been an awesome couple of days. This game could be the biggest game that we've seen so far in Hoopsfest.
Yeah, absolutely, especially as you mentioned, John, that everything is really on the line here to determine who's the champion of the inaugural Hoopsfest. I don't know about you, but I wasn't actually anticipating it was going to be this close, especially that we've still got another game after this one. But both of these rosters too are pretty similar to what we're going to see in the regular season, so I think this is going to be a much more even matchup compared to some of the games we've seen so far.
Adelaide has a little step up on Southside Flyers. A lot of that has to do with the play of Izzy Bourne in the matchup last night against the Sydney Flames. Bourne was huge in that win for the Lightning.
Absolutely. 29 points, 5 rebounds, and shooting at 65% overall from the field against Sydney. She's got the versatility, but she will be tested, I think, today against the Flyers.
She definitely will be tested against the reigning WNBL champions, the Southside Flyers. They opened up Hoopsfest with the win last night, 93-71 against Perth. A very, very efficient game for Southside, and you see the talent that they have on this roster. This is a very similar team to what we're going to see into the regular season. The championships is with Southside. They want to maintain that.
Definitely. I think Southside have done a fantastic job of retaining a lot of those championship players in the likes of Rochi and Cole. Now they've added the stud that is Alice Hunick as well, but they've also only officially announced 7 regular season rostered players, so they've still got a few more to go. But looking what we've got so far, it is certainly a talented team.
Talk about talent, one of the unsung talents in the group here at Hoopsfest and potentially with the Flyers, Nikita Young. She was excellent against Perth. You see on the numbers there, 19 points, 83% from three-point land. That's got to earn some eyes for Nikita Young.
Yes, and Nikita Young was a DP, a development player with the Flyers last season. She's had an excellent off-season in the NBL 1 South competition. So it's great seeing her go strength to strength and showing her skill set here on this stage.
We talked about it off air, Jacinta. These two teams match up really well. It's going to be interesting to see how they match up with each other defensively. What do you think?
I think perhaps in each of their first games, maybe a couple of touches and a couple of scores were perhaps coming a little bit too easy for each team. So now it's a little bit more evenly matched up. I'm expecting the likes of Izzy Bourne to have very limited touches compared to the game against the Flames. And equally, I think the likes of Cole and Rochi are going to have to be the driving force for the Flyers to get the win.
Yeah, and you look at the numbers for Adelaide last night, very efficient from the field. They were really devastating in transition. You got to think that's going to be one of the keys for Southside to try and slow down this Lightning group.
Yes, they had 22 fast break points against the Flames. Having said that, though, the Flyers themselves had 25 fast break points. Sorry, Adelaide had 30 fast break points, so the Flyers 25. So certainly going to be an area of focus for the Flyers of limiting those transition buckets, but also I think limiting the points in the paint for Adelaide. Of their 103 points yesterday, 54 came from inside the paint.
Pretty impressive. And one of the numbers that jumped out at us in the Adelaide game, and then when I went back to watch the Southside game, both teams did a really good job on the glass, particularly on the offensive end. It's going to be interesting to see who can win that rebounding battle.
I think, you know, that's a great point that you raised, because I wonder if it's going to be one of those games where whoever controls the rebound count is essentially going to control the game and get the win. Rebound count was 54 for Flyers and 46 for Adelaide. Adelaide including those 17 offensive rebounds against the Flames. I don't think they're going to get that many offensive rebounds against a team like Flyers, but the rebound count will definitely be key.
I'm looking forward to seeing how these teams match up defensively. Let's look at the starting 5 for the Southside Flyers. You've got the captain, Beck Cole, Dallas Lockridge, Maddie Rochi, Alice Hunick, and of course, Manuela Poch. And then on the other side for the Adelaide Lightning, you've got Haley Andrews, Brooke Basham, Izzy Borlays, Maddie Freer, and the captain, Izzy Bourne. Really, really two really talented starting fives. Very exciting to see this matchup here. The one up front is where I'm interested to see how Adelaide matches the depth up front for Southside. Koenig and particularly Poch were really, really impressive on the glass, and they have the size advantage on this Adelaide team.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Poch in technically her first WNBL game, she had a double-double as well for the Flyers with 11 points and 10 rebounds. It'd be great to see if she can back it up today.
Hoopsfest is underway. The first possession goes to the Adelaide Lightning. Let's see the matchups right away. You see it there. Freer's going to get the matchup with Poch. Borlase, backdoor cut, lays it home. A nice set to start the game for Adelaide.
Yeah, really nicely read and great patience very early here from Maddie Freer. That was a very well executed opening play.
We see Borlase getting the matchup with Maddie Rocci. And it's Basham getting the matchup with Beck Cole, who gets to the paint and is fouled. And Beck Cole had a pretty good offseason in the NBL 1 competition, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, taking the double championship, NBL 1 South with the Waverley Falcons, and are certainly a part of that season. Everyone kind of counted Waverley out, and then they went to win the national championship as well.
And Cole just picks up right where she left off, winning national MVP as well, and is going to be a huge part of this returning Flyers group.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a great player. You can always rely on her to set the tone for the team and inject some energy when the team is down and out.
Warren guarded by Koenig. Basham stepping beyond the arc and hitting Adelaide, starting hot, 2 from 2 from the field.
I just love how Basham's shooting with so much confidence and fluidity from the arc this season so far.
You see Adelaide switching a lot here. Bourne comes up with, Borlase blocks Rocci. Really good defensive set there for Adelaide. Andrews skips it. Basham crossing over. I thought she was going to fire. Freer does, though. Misses the first shot for Adelaide. Loose ball recovered by Rocci. Here come the Flyers. Koenig making the move from Townsville down to Southside. Lockridge picks up the dribble. Poch inside. Koenig, good seal and finish with the left hand.
Really nice touch there on the pass from Poch.
Been a very good start for both teams, and there's that roll to the basket. It's a good finish again for Izzy Bourne. A little aggressive there from Basham, fouling Cole along the sideline. Referees for tonight, Maddie Crowley-Long, Zara Baldwin, and Bianca Vernon. That was Maddie Crowley-Long with the foul call on the sideline. Adelaide up 3 here, about 2 minutes into this one. Rocci finishes +1.
Yeah, beautiful take there from Rocci. You'll notice it on the replay. As she takes it, you can see her eyes were only focused there on the target. And a really, really great and tough finish, splitting the defense right under the basket as well.
Rocci had a pretty good offseason as well. They were disappointed to get knocked out of the South Finals for the NBL 1 South.
Well, yeah, she played for Keilor Thunder under Christy Harrower, who's now the Southside Flyers head coach. And playing alongside here, Izzy Bourne, who's down here in the post.
Nice spin move, great footwork from Bourne. She has gotten off to a good start for Adelaide.
Again, just really, really great patience here from Adelaide.
Rocci missed the 3, tipped out by Koenig, recovered by Lockridge. Flyers going to reset in the half court, looking inside for Koenig. Draws a lot of attention, unable to get the shot off, but she is fouled. Looks like that one's going to go against Andrews, and Alice Koenig would just not be denied on that one.
Yeah, that was a really, really tough take there. I do like seeing Koenig getting aggressive early, especially from the low block, because she's really known to be, an outside threat. It would be great to see her to continue to diversify her game so she can be more a threat under the basket.
2 of 2 from the free throw line. It's a 1-point game, and this game is not disappointed. Bourne nearly turned it over. Cano's out there for Adelaide, her first minutes of the evening. Andrews working against Rocci. Runs Basham, 7 on the shot clock. Steps into a long 2 and rolls it in.
Beautifully done. Basham just trying to create her trick, like she just is so quick off the hand there. So as soon as she's got a little bit of space, it's going up.
Pretty high scoring affair to start this one. Lockridge hands off for Cole, who reverses to the left. Goes up with it. Missed the bank shot. Bourne with the rebound. She's going to bust out. This is where Adelaide was dangerous last night. Borlase swings it. Andrews open 3. It's up. It's in.
Beautiful team basketball again from Adelaide.
Flyers, though, go right down the other end. Koenig banks one home. Too easy.
Way too easy. Adelaide getting a bit of a taste of their own medicine in that occasion.
4-point lead for Adelaide. Remember, the championship is on the line. The Lightning need to win 3 quarters plus the game to jump ahead of the Townsville Fire with 12 points. Sitting at the top of the Hoopsfest ladder at the moment as Borlase fades away, rolls off the rim. Southside also with an opportunity, but they have to win all 4 quarters plus the game to pick up the Hoopsfest championship. If Rochi can hit that turnaround fadeaway, Flyers might be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone is just on fire in this first quarter.
Backdoor pass read well by Lockridge. He comes up with a deflection. Southside has the steal. Nice seal from Poch. Drawing the double team. Lockridge, Koenig, wide open. Good backdoor cut and a great find from Lockridge.
Yeah, a bit of a miscommunication there from Adelaide, which we didn't see a lot of yesterday. I imagine they'd want to tidy that up very quickly.
All tied up at 14, 5 minutes into this one. A lot of contact off the ball. They're going to get Izzy Bourne for the offensive foul, and Alice Koenig down a little bit, clutching onto her left ankle. Let's hope it is just a little injury. We hope it's nothing serious. And you can see Bourne landed right on the leg of Koenig.
Poor Koenig has had a few injury woes in the last 12 months. She had a significant injury at the tail end of the last WNBL season. I think it was her elbow. And then she went to play in Europe and had a bit of a freakish and very severe injury to her mouth as well while she was in France. Like, she had to have some serious dental work done. So that's why she now always plays with a mouth guard. So would love to see a healthy AK.
Well, there she is. So thankfully nothing that's going to keep her off the court at the moment. Rochi, lane opened, and she attacked. Flyers have the lead. They're up 2. No, deep 3, rolls in. Oh, it's a 2, excuse me, foot on the line. Backdoor pass called, touch pass to Poch, who softly lays it home.
Wow, the Flyers are just in the right spots for each other. This is what we were seeing from Adelaide yesterday, so it's funny that we're now seeing it from the Flyers.
Borlase from the free throw line. It's true.
Oh, beautifully read. Great screen set by Pinot. That was really I wish you could give her an assist for how good that screen was.
Reiger's out there for Adelaide. Rochi shakes her, gets the jump shot off, missed. Here's Borlase now. Gets it back, Pinot. Borlase now deep 3, again swishes it home.
But just how well they're playing, like with such fluidity and such freedom. Like as soon as they got the ball down in that half, oh, look at that deflection.
Beautiful steal from Borlase. She gets it up and lays it home. And there's a timeout on the floor. Southside wants a break as Izzy Borlase hits a few straight for Adelaide. You saw the 3 there. Then she gets the steal at half court and takes it home.
I think it was 7 straight. She had the elbow shot. Of the screen, the 3, and then the steal. That's 3 play phases that are worthy of a highlight reel for an entire game, and that's how you would describe Izzy Borlase.
And you love to see it because this is against the champions. The Southside Flyers are playing a championship roster in the Hoopsfest competition in this game.
Yeah, just loving Adelaide's fluidity, their freedom, how quick they're able to move the ball. There's not a lot of stop and start with Adelaide in between when they're changing possessions. It's very hard to guard and very hard to scout. when I was going through the stats as well from Adelaide's previous game, it was just like they weren't relying on one particular player. Of course, Bourne was just a standout with 29, but that just came to her naturally in the game. It wasn't like they were running everything for her. But then you had Pinot chipping in with 9 rebounds and 8 assists, and you had Freer chipping in with 11 rebounds. So everyone contributed in a lot of different ways. Yeah, they're going to be an exciting team in the regular season.
Adelaide is shooting 83% from the field to start this one. They are 3 of 3 from deep as well, so the shots are definitely falling for Adelaide, and not to sniff because Southside shooting 63% from the field. They haven't hit a 3 just yet.
Yeah, that's a really interesting stat because Southside, you know, traditionally can sometimes live and die by the 3, or, I mean, they're loaded with a lot of 3-point shooters, so it's interesting that they haven't actually taken one yet.
They've only taken the one, but they've missed it. So they have attempted a shot from deep, but they haven't hit one yet. And then they turn it over out of the timeout. Miscommunication there. Southside was trying to say Adelaide tipped it out of bounds. Bastion picks up the dribble. Great hands off. Greiger bounces it inside. Deflected by Rocci. Recovered by Adelaide. 9 on the shot clock for Borlase. Working against Cole. Double teamed, and she tried to squeeze the pass through. Cole comes up with the steal, though. Bounces it to Poch, who lays it home with the left.
Wow, Poch is having a great impact in this game, too. In the right space, in the right time, she's playing her role very well. You wouldn't think that this is her debut season.
Poch now has 4 for the Flyers. Here's Pinot. Pass stolen by Cole. That Cole very aggressive here defensively. Rocci catch and shoot 3 is off. Greiger, though, lost the ball out of bounds. She wanted a foul call over the back. Referees let it go. It's going to be Southside ball on the baseline.
Yeah, I think in those situations, you know, fair enough. She had her body there, but if she were to box out a little bit harder, she probably was able to get the foul.
And that is just beautiful from Beck Cole. Just perfect form. No hesitation at all.
No.
1-point game. It's been a great game so far. Pretty high scoring affair. Borlase missed the 3. Deflected out of bounds off Koenig. It's going to stay with Adelaide. They've got 14 on the shot clock. And I like what I'm seeing from both the teams so far, staying with their starting 5 for a bit as Pinot hits another jump shot.
Yeah, both teams executing their baseline out of bounds plays very well, possession after possession. It's kind of going a little bit pound for pound at the moment.
Koenig missed the 3. Blaze kicks ahead early. Pass inside. Freer is fouled by Koenig.
I do like that play there from Adelaide. I know that Freer was probably open, but unless she's getting it right up here when she's free, I think that was probably a bit of a late catch and maybe bailed out by the foul. I think it's probably worthwhile just faking into that trail and getting a ball reversal to be safe.
Or you almost fake the post entry.
Yeah, the post entry. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right.
Nice jump shot. Pinot's got it going on here. Georgia Pinot, massive contribution off the bench for Adelaide. Lightning are up by 5. They need to win 3 quarters plus the game to bring home the Hoopsfest championship. Koenig, 3 is up. No good. Flyers still looking for their first 3-pointer of the game. Borlase hesitates, goes up with the left hand, doesn't get it to finish, but she's fouled. That was pretty. She switched hands midair. Look at this.
Oh yeah, I love that. What I like even more is just the hesitation. It just gives you enough time and space to be able to read and react your defender a lot more. And considering that she's just hit so many outside shots, I think Rocci on that occasion was very tempted just to close out long on the hesitation and open it up nicely for Izzy.
Borlase missed that first free throw attempt. She leads all scorers so far with 9 points. One of 2. Adelaide's up 6, 1:30 to go in the first quarter. She gets the handoff, puts her head down, gets inside and draws the contact. It looks like it's going to go against Borlase. Archie, when she has a head of steam, she is so hard to stop. Not only is she quick, but she's really strong as well.
Yeah, she's super strong. And I think sometimes, though, sometimes I think she focuses too much on getting the foul than she does scoring the basket. That's something I think I'd like to see her develop a little bit more. Just continuing to focus on the score first and using her strengths to fend off the defense rather than expecting a foul, because I mean, we love the physical game here in Australia. You're not always going to get it called that way.
Rochi free throws cut the deficit for the Flyers to 4. Borlase goes to the step through, hangs and hits. You have to respect the jump shot, and she uses that to her advantage.
I wasn't sure where she was going with that one, and I think that extra hang, I was worried it was going to be well short, but that extra hang time managed to elevate her shot nicely.
And an offensive foul called against Portlock, who's just checked into the game for Southside.
Portlock is another recent graduate from the Centre of Excellence program, and she announced, I think only about a week ago, that she's headed to TCU to start her college career.
Not a bad place to be, Dallas, Texas. Quick catch and shoot 3 for Greiger is long. Flyers have it trailing by 6, a high-scoring first quarter.
Wow, yeah, we're still in the first quarter. It feels like we should be in the second.
Cole gets the screen from Portlock, hits the rolling big, who goes up with a soft left-hand finish. Really good hands there from Portlock and tough finish.
I think it's the Sabrinas that she's wearing.
Not bad. Borlase working clock. There's about a 1.5 second difference. Bourne gets inside, flips it up, no good, it's strong. Pinot blocked by Portlock. Recovers it, kicks it to the corner. And she steps out of bounds, that's Sienna Greiger. So 2.2 seconds to go in the game. Can the Flyers get a shot off here?
I think Rochi's either going to have to put her head down, or, you know, there's going to have to be, yeah, I think it's just Rochi's either going to dribble it out or have to put her head down and put up a Hail Mary.
It's about a half-court heave.
Yeah.
It's well short, and that's going to do it for the first quarter of action. Adelaide wins the quarter 30-26, which eliminates the Flyers from the Hoopsfest championship, but keeps the hopes alive for the Adelaide Lightning. It is quarter time, though. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with the second quarter of action for you live from the Bendat Basketball Center in Perth, Western Australia.
I'm on my prime, I'm feeling like Steph. I get my shot and I promise it's wet. Waited too long, but I told him I'm next. I need my bag, just run me the check. Cable was mine, I ain't taking less. I told them all I'm as real as it gets. This shit be a shit, dog, I'm cutting the net. Oof. I'm on my prime, I'm feeling like Steph. I get my shot and I promise it's wet. Waited too long, but I told him I'm next. I need my bag, just run me the check. Cable was mine, I ain't taking less. I told them all I'm as real as it gets. This shit be a shit, dog, I'm cutting the net. Oof.
Welcome back to Hoopsfest. The Adelaide Lightning lead the Southside Flyers by 4, 30-26 in between the quarter time. It is John Guarna here with Jacinta Govin. Jacinta, a really exciting first quarter of basketball.
Yeah, super exciting to the point where I was surprised we were still in the first quarter. It was so eventful. I thought surely this is the second, but this is the high caliber game that we were expecting, and it hasn't disappointed so far.
A lot of superstars on the court. You're looking at the stats there. Izzy Borlase leads all scorers with 12. On the other side for Southside, Maddie Rochi's got 8 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds already. It was an amazing quarter. 56 points in total. I think we would maybe have expected that getting into halfway about the second quarter. Are you surprised at how high scoring that quarter was?
A little bit, yeah, I think so. And the caliber of shooting didn't really let up at all. I think the Flyers at the moment are shooting at 55.6% overall, whereas Adelaide are shooting at 68.4%. Like, that's just massive numbers for the first quarter. I just hope they're able to sustain it.
Well, you got to think both coaches in that quarter-time break are talking defense with the way that the ball was going through the basket for both teams. But Izzy Borlase really just picking up right where she left off last night. 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block in the first quarter. She certainly can stuff a stat sheet.
Yeah, absolutely. She did so last night, and it looks like she's on track to do it again today.
The thing I love is Borlase is guarding Beck Cole. Did a good job there, but Beck's still able to finish. But the two superstars really going at each other on both sides of the court.
And on paper, you wouldn't think that they would match up against each other. But, yeah, I think they're actually quite a perfect match.
Good hit coming in off the bench for Adelaide there. Jess Simons, her first bucket of the night. Lockridge back out there in Portlock. Hands off for Cole, long 2. Short. Greer. How good is it to get a forward or a center, grabs that defensive rebound and busts out? It really puts some pressure on the defense right away.
Yeah, totally. And it's really unexpected because if you're a big, oh, look at Izzy go, honestly.
She saw the mismatch. Portlock switched out, and Izzy's cleared everyone out and said, let me go to work.
Yeah. But, yeah, just going back to Adelaide having that versatility, if you're a big that can handle the ball, there's going to be times where you have a big that can't guard that. But Izzy again with another steal. Beautiful
steal, and she goes to that Euro step. Unable to finish, though. Well defended by Southside. And the Flyers are out and running. Good take and finish there from Nikita Young.
And this is Young's first minutes of the game as well. We're expecting to see her a lot earlier given her great performance yesterday, but she's already making an impact.
There is Young tipping it out of bounds. Going to stay with Adelaide. It's going to be on the baseline. Just want to remind Southside fans, the Jayco Southside Flyers, the current WNBL champions, will be back in action at the State Basketball Center from early November. Don't miss the action of Australia's best women's basketballers in action. Become a member today and be part of the Flyers family. Visit the Flyers website for more information. It promises to be another exciting season, so don't miss out. And I'll tell you who's not missing out. Maddie Freer doing a bit of everything for the Lightning.
Yeah, that was a very well-timed offensive rebound. Lovely put back, just using her length to her advantage.
Here is Cole getting 2 feet in the paint, flipping one up. She drew the foul. She'll get to the line for a couple shots. Maybe she won't.
Yeah, I think that was just a
foul on the floor.
I'm not sure if it was a foul or if it was just a deflection.
Well, it's going to stay with Southside on the baseline. Kunick checks back in. Cole is going to get a breather. Alice goes to the fadeaway jump shot and rolls it off the back of the rim and in. Andrews kicks it to the corner. Adelaide running some half-court offense here. Pinnell back out to Simons now. Nice drive, but strong on the layup.
Oh, good read. Just unlucky not to put that one away from Simons.
Good block by Basham. Recovers well to block Young. Five-point lead for Adelaide. About 3 minutes into the second quarter.
Loffridge with some very tough defense there on Andrews.
Yeah, Southside seems to have turned up the intensity on the defensive end a little bit here. Basham, wide open three. It's up. It's good. You cannot leave Brooke Basham that wide open.
No way. She is a confident shooter. She puts in a lot of hard work in the off-season as well. We mentioned her company she started with Loz Mansfield called the Complete Athlete Project. I think sometimes when you're a coach and a current player, keeps you accountable a little bit. And I think it's rubbing off now into Brooke Basham's game on the court.
Walkeridge steps into a long two. It's an air ball. Not the look that Dallas would have been looking for, I should say.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Pinot actually got a hand to it. But
well contested for sure, at the very least. Here's Freer bringing it up court. Now guarded by Potch, spins into the paint. The lane opens wide up. A beautiful read there from Georgia Pinot.
Really great read. I think all of the focus was on that weak side cutter coming off to get the handoff from Pinot, and everyone was watching that, and the lane opened wide up.
Pinot has 8 points now. Koenig stops and hits. That is a reason why she's worn the green and gold on multiple occasions right there.
She's really great off the dribble in that one leg, but Pinot just very quickly silenced that Flyers celebration.
Yeah, Pinot has been shown off the jump shot here this evening. Turnover. Adelaide's got the 2-on-1. They push. Freer hands it off, gets it back. Well defended by Southside. Andrews lost it. Good steal for the Flyers. Watch, wide open three, puts it up. It's long. Rebound to Pinot. Pinot feeling it and is fouled from behind. I was going to say that jump shot was a little wild, but the foul on the play. As you see Pinot bringing it up court, stops, and is fouled from behind.
Yeah. Yeah, really put some acceleration on that shot, didn't it?
Timeout on the floor with Adelaide opening up a 10-point lead, 44-34. The scoring has slowed down a little bit, but percentage-wise, both teams feel like they can't miss. Adelaide 65% from the field, Southside 54% from the field. Flyers, though, still looking for their first three-point shot of the night. Adelaide at 71% from three. That is incredible. Even through only a quarter and a half, those numbers are ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, you always got to expect in the first quarter of any game that a team can make, 2, 3 three-pointers in a quarter, and you don't expect it to be maintained. But what I really like for Adelaide is that most of them have all been like wide open threes. So they're all been really great decisions and really great looks. And I think that's always going to increase your shooting percentage. For the Flyers, I'm quite surprised. They're still 0 from 6. I think some of the shots they've taken have been fine, but haven't really been on target, which isn't really like the Flyers. So I'm hoping that they can turn it around a little bit from that area of their game right now.
For me, the difference in the three-point shooting, Adelaide doesn't seem like they're forcing them. And they're not quick shots. Most of them are coming in either off dribble penetration or that one-on-one where everyone's cleared out and you know that it's either going to be a shot or it's going to be a drive as well. But I just want to remind everyone, Adelaide is fighting for the Hoopsfest championship. The team that wins the Hoopsfest championship wins $10,000, and every player on the team that wins the Hoopsfest championship gets a $100 gift voucher to Foot Locker as well. So, bit to play for here. Not just pride, and it's not just practice. There's some cash on the line.
Yeah, that's right. It certainly incentivizes it a little bit more. I mean, who wouldn't love a $100 Foot Locker voucher?
I know I definitely would.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. Pinot, very impressive last night, and she's been excellent coming in off the bench. Izzy Bourne had a little bit of foul trouble, had to come off the court, and you're not missing that much here in the two games when you see Pinot out there in place of Bourne.
No, absolutely not. She's been doing a great job being able to guard someone out on the wing as well. Also showing her versatility as a player.
Ball goes inside, Koenig double teamed. Ball ends up. Shows Roche missing the three. Roche makes up for it though on the other end, comes up with the steal. Koenig will step into a three. Well off. Fight for the rebound, recovered by Andrews. Borlase looking inside. There is Izzy Bourne powering up, missing it. Tipped out of bounds off Adelaide. It's going to be Southside ball. 4:32 to go in the game, and Adelaide up 12.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there. I mean, I don't really expect Izzy Bourne to miss like that from right under the basket, but she was wiping her eye afterwards, so perhaps her vision was obstructed.
Roche missed. There's Parch missing the putback, though. Good kick ahead. That's Basham blocked by Koenig. Roche turning on the Jets. Nice bounce pass, Lockridge. Gives it back to Roche. They want Koenig. Sets the screen for Cole. Gets to the elbow, jump shots up, and rolls home. Timeout taken on the floor. Looks like it's going to be the Flyers calling the timeout. Beck Cole reads the game so well. They really, you could see they were trying to get the ball to Koenig. Adelaide did a good job denying it, and Cole just reads the position, gets herself into that open space, and scores.
Yeah, Cole is really great in the way that she just won't settle for second best. If offense breaks down and it hasn't gone to plan, then she'll still try and find a way to make something good come of it. And if that means, you know, putting the ball under her wing and trying to create, then so be it. I think that's one of her biggest assets as a teammate and as a player on any team. But the Flyers' defense has been really, really great. They've limited Adelaide scoring a lot more in this second quarter. Adelaide, to their credit, have been able to still generate some shots, but I think they're not coming as easy and they're not looking as comfortable, which I kind of expected coming in against the Flyers. So they just mentally need to readjust and keep making those same shots they were making yesterday. For example, Izzy Bourne, like, it's not often that she'll miss those shots under the basket. She's just got to mentally recalibrate.
You got to think, Flyers are still, I mean, this game is far from over. Flyers are well within striking distance here. You got to think at some point that three-point shot for Southside's going to start to fall.
Yeah, you would really hope so. I think, again, it's just a mental recalibration because it's great they're being aggressive from the three-point line. You know, their shots have been, you know, all from people who should be shooting those shots and all shots that they would normally make. It's just perhaps a mental hurdle.
Let's see if the Flyers can make some adjustments coming out of this timeout. Freer at the elbow, swings it. There's Bourne getting inside and finishing a beautiful set from Adelaide out of the break. Cole's on the wing looking inside, skips it, Lockridge. Gets it back from Parch, fires the three, and hits. A nice response from Southside, their first three-pointer of the night.
Yes, thank you, Dallas Lockridge, for breaking that three-point drought for the Flyers.
Freer looks to respond. Her three is short. Deflected right back into the hands of Basham. Basham spins, hangs, and hits. Nice looking finish there from Brooke Basham.
Yeah, absolutely. She always has her feet set. She has a great shooting technique.
Well defended there from Bourne. She gets the rebound as well. Skips it over. Basham waiting for the screen. Gets it from Freer. Kicks it. Bourne will fire a wing three and hit. Adelaide has responded well, pushing the lead out to 14.
Yeah, that's got to feel good for Izzy Bourne.
Points starting to pile up again here now in the back half of the second quarter as Roche finishes with the right hand. There's Borlase setting the offense for Adelaide. Bourne deflection by Roche to steal now. Southside with numbers. Lockridge gets it back from Colin, lays it in. One of the few fast break opportunities for Southside.
Yeah, and I think for both teams, actually, we're expecting both teams to get out and run, given that they had such huge numbers with fast break points in their first games. But each team have done a great job with defensive transition.
Bourne fouled by Beck Cole, and they're going to count it.
Wow. Just goes to show that you always got to try and put it up, and you never know what outcome you're going to get.
Yeah, a really good finish there. You can see the foul. She was in motion getting to the basket. I like the call from the referee. Beckall picks up a personal foul. Izzy Bourne at the free throw line for the three-point play opportunity.
Wow, out of that timeout, the Lightning have just gone up a level, haven't they?
Southside has answered pretty well as well. They're getting out and pushing the ball up court. And just mentioning that fast break opportunity, it's really hard to run when you're pulling the ball out of the basket. And this is a high-scoring game, 55-43. We've got about 2 minutes to go still. Roche thought about the three, swings it for Cole. Cole dribbles into the paint, hangs and hits. That's professional basketball right there from Beck Cole.
Yeah, and a bit of a miscommunication there on the defensive end in that pick and roll, so very well read by Cole.
Basham puts it on the floor. He's fouled by Poch. It's only Southside's third personal foul. It's a tough call. Poch leaned in a little bit.
Yeah, I think she was just a little bit too late to the play. I'm just not too sure. I think Flyers are also doing a hard show and recover in the same way that Adelaide are guarding the Flyers pick and roll. So I think Poch was just there a little bit too late.
Basham swings it for Pinot. Now Borlase draws a lot of attention, shakes free, fires, and still hits.
Wow.
Shook off the double team like it was nothing.
Yeah, that was a hard double team as well, perhaps a little bit too hard, and they didn't stick with her, but Izzy, you know, created some space, and off she goes.
Beck Cole answers with the three. Southside starting to heat up a little bit from deep. Basham gonna work some clock here. Borlase with the left hand, she's fouled.
It's just their timing of their cuts from Adelaide is just so brilliant. If you have a look here, high post action, you know, rises, gets that beautiful catch, and then as soon as they catch, then Izzy cuts. Like that timing is really, really great. Like, it's so nice to watch.
Everyone seems to be really well positioned as well. Everyone knows their spots and where their movement is, their next spot is going to be.
Yeah, everyone's just playing their role really beautifully in this Adelaide team.
Borlase is the top scorer in the game. She's got 18 points now.
And I really enjoy as well, I'm probably harping on a lot about Adelaide, but I just like as well, and we have seen it with some other teams this tournament, how much they're using the high post. I think sometimes that goes a little bit underused. Basketball in general, not just specifically WNBL. But yeah, it was Townsville actually that was using a lot of high post action. The introduction of that has been really nice. I think it suits a lot of our players a lot better.
Well, I think it's a good part of that modern game where you get a big who could shoot the ball or put it on the deck if the lane is clear. So I'm a big fan of it as well. I think it's a great offense to run against teams that play zone as well, if possible. And you see the versatility. You don't necessarily need a big in the high post either. It could be a guard,
that's right.
It could be, it could be big to big, guard to guard. Cole driving baseline missed. Lost the rebound out of bounds. It went off of Adelaide, so going to stay with Southside. 24 seconds on the game clock and a fresh 14 for the Flyers. Roche inbounds for Cole, gets it back. Guarded by Borlase. 10 on the shot clock. Roche hands off Poch, puts it on the deck. Floater is short, gets her own miss. The putback's good. Let's see if Adelaide can get a shot off. There's 7 seconds to go. Early kick ahead. Pinot fires the jump shot, misses. Roche with the rebound. She's not even going to try to get a shot off. And that's going to do it for the first half. An excellent first half of basketball with the Adelaide Lightning now up by 10, 60-50. What a fantastic half.
Huge half, led by Izzy Borlase, who has 19 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, and 2 steals, and she's well supported by Bourne on 12 and Pinot on 12. And for the Flyers, Beck Cole is leading their team, her team with 13 points, 5 assists, and Roche is on
I'm at Hoopsfest. Adelaide Lightning up by 10 over the Southside Flyers, 60-50. The championship is still alive for the Lightning. They've got one more quarter to win, end the game to win, and then they will be your inaugural Hoopsfest champions. A really good second quarter there for Adelaide Jacinta. They won that quarter 30-24.
Yeah, they sure do. As well as the two Izzies, Georgia Pinot is on 12 points and Basham is on 10. And it is another case where only two players from Adelaide haven't scored yet, so everyone nearly getting on the score sheet by halftime.
Southside also really well balanced, led by Beck Cole's 13 points. Alice Tunick's got 12, Matty Rochi with 10 as well. So the stars for the Flyers are certainly producing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they're really coming up strong when the Flyers need a score. But then the likes of Portlock and Potch and Lockridge, they've also been stepping up at crucial moments too. So just is reflective of that depth you spoke about in the preview.
And the thing that's nice, Jacinta, these teams have got studs on the court, and we've seen them for a majority of that first half. Let's hope that we could see it for the second half as well.
Yeah, if this is a taste that we're going to get for the regular season, once they both add all of their full roster spots, I'm very much looking forward to this matchup again.
Well, just a reminder, the Hoopsfest Championship is on the line here. The Townsville Fire at 2-0 sit on 12 points. Adelaide is still alive to jump ahead of the Fire to win that inaugural Hoopsfest Championship. And with that comes the trophy, but $10,000 and $100 gift voucher from Foot Locker for every player on the winning team. It is halftime. I think we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with the second half of action. Get yourselves a drink, get yourselves a snack, and meet us back at the Bendat Basketball Center just shortly. Basketball. John Guarna here with Jacinta Govin, getting set for the second half of the Hoopsfest matchup between the Adelaide Lightning and the Southside Flyers. Adelaide up 10, a very impressive first half.
Absolutely, and everything is led here by the athlete on screen, Isabel Borlase, absolutely stuffing the stat sheet for her team, including 19 points, but also getting it done on the defensive end with a couple of steals and rebounds as well. And
Southside has a bit of work to do here. They're certainly within striking distance. The threes started to fall towards the second or the back end of that first half.
That's right, and they've just got to keep shooting it. Hopefully they're early, they weren't very successful in the first quarter, but hopefully that won't deter them from shooting from the three-point line.
I think it's the defensive end of the court that both coaches will be talking about. 60 points and 50 points at halftime is a bit too much for either side. So let's see what defensive adjustments are made coming out of the big break. Warren hands off, Borlase swings it. Freer has to make something happen, goes through the floater, it's strong. Offensive rebound from Bourne, but it's lost out of bounds off Southside. Basham gonna inbound. Finds Bourne, who hands off for Borlase. Bourne lost it on the dribble, somehow recovers it, but turns it over. Kick ahead early, Rochi goes up with the layup. Our first points of the half go to the Flyers. Borlase gets the screen, steps behind it, fires a three and hits. Izzy Borlase. What can she do?
Goodness me, 22 points and we've only just started the second half.
Good response from Adelaide after turning it over on their first possession. Cole guarded by Basham. Looks inside, Potch. Lost it and turns it over. Andrews, nice touch pass for Bourne. She's fouled on her way up to the basket. I like that touch pass from Andrews. Really puts the pressure on the defense to make something happen.
Oh, yeah, and that just, credit to Adelaide Lightning again, running as a pack, being in the right place at the right time, which means that Andrews can do those touch passes. But how's the perception from Andrew being able to notice she's receiving the ball, but then also being able to plan and prepare for that touch pass? That's a very classy move from Andrews.
Bourne is having herself a game here as well at halftime. These are her first point of the second half, but she's got 13 points to go with 4 rebounds and an efficient 5 of 7 from the field. Top scorer in the game, Izzy Borlase. She's only missed 4 shots.
Jeez.
Koenig for 3, hits. Koenig now with 15. Here comes Freer. Gets it back from Borlase. Goes up with the left hand, well short. Rochi lost it. It's tied up between Koenig and Freer. Jump ball. Possession arrow favors Southside. Love the hustle from both players.
Yeah, I don't know how the ball ended up finding its way back to Freer's hands in that situation.
Rochi guarded by Borlase. It's been an interesting matchup to see Izzy Borlase guarding Rochi. Cole forces one up. Just rolls off the side of the rim, but she's fouled. She'll get to the line for a couple of shots. Beck Cole doing everything she can to keep her team in this one.
Yeah, Basham's doing a really great job defending Cole from that high post. It's, Flyers have switched up their half-court offense here early in the second half, going with almost looks like a horn set and trying to target Beck Cole on the post catch in the high post, but Basham's doing a great job defending her, keeping her nice and close. Just a little bit of a push there on Beck Cole's elevation to cause the foul.
Free throw's good for Beck Cole. Flyers trail by 7. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Good hands into the deflection by Koenig. But a tough pass, Rochi can't handle it. Returns it back to Basham now. Foul called on Freer.
Yeah, let's have a look here on the replay. Oh yeah, I think she was trying to perhaps fend off Bet Cole and got a little bit, just gave a little bit too much.
And one thing I'll say, you can see Adelaide is a very young group comparatively to Southside. Southside has the experience, the championship experience. And you can see the Southside Flyers working the referees a little bit more. Adelaide probably a little more reserved in their communication with the referees.
Yeah, Flyers just putting themselves in a better positions to get those fouls in their favor.
There's a great play there, a block from Freer. She got a bit of contact on Koenig's second go at it. Looks like she copped one on the cheek, maybe close to the eye. Let's see it on the replay here. See Freer come up with the block, but there was certainly contact.
I'm not sure if you've ever had an elbow to the cheek, John, but it's not something I would wish on my worst enemy.
No, it's an elbow anywhere. Never really feels nice, but that cheek is such a soft spot, and it's really dangerously close to the eye.
Yeah.
You definitely want the elbow to the eye. Nice bounce pass, well read by Lockridge, who deflects it out of bounds.
Yeah, very good recovery there from Lockridge. Getting caught up on that screen initially, having to chase back and guard the roller. Very nicely read.
Bounce from Basham. Bourne going to work, turns and fades away and hits. That is a beautiful looking jump shot. Roche, determined, won't be stopped except from the rim. Now Adelaide wants to run. Bourne has good position and is fouled by Koenig.
Yeah, I just want to see on the replay there, the seal on the inside. I think, yeah, Bourne was, probably having a tough time really cementing her seal under there. I think if Koenig didn't put her hands in, it would have been an easy two.
Borlase swings it. Bourne, three, touches the bottom of the net.
Gosh, didn't that look pretty coming out of the hand? Absolute textbook shooting technique from Bourne.
They've been so efficient. I keep waiting for Adelaide to cool off from the field. They're at 64%. That's a great response from deep from Southside. Roche hits another one. But this Adelaide team, they're on point with everything. You know, the one thing I would say maybe is the turnovers. That's number 12. But when they get through their stuff, it's beautiful basketball to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like we talked about yesterday, that positionless kind of basketball, having your bigs having the confidence and the instruction from Coach Hurst, if you're able to bust out on the possession change, go for it. Putting the opposition under some serious pressure on D.
Roche just hit one. I think that might have been blocked. Looked like there was some contact. No, Roche says, my bad. Shoots a tough one.
I thought that hit the fingertips of Bourne as well, actually.
It looked like it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Pinot, three. Responds and responds well. Pinot's been excellent tonight.
She's been really good. So consistent. Great role player. Doesn't try to just do too much. She just goes out there and does a job and does it well.
Cole now coming off the punch screen. Will step behind it, fire a three. It is a three-point barrage from both teams. And a timeout on the floor from Adelaide. 7 points the lead for the Lightning.
This has still been such a high-paced game. I think what's really changed in the third is the physicality from both teams, particularly the Flyers. They're putting a lot more pressure in the passing lanes, trying to make it very difficult for Adelaide to kind of get into the flow of their sets. And I think if Flyers keep that up and they just keep chipping away, we might see a bit of a lead change sooner rather than later.
Well, I got to say, I feel like we've been talking a lot about Adelaide, but Southside have done a really good job keeping themselves within it and making a nice run at it. They've cut the deficit to 7. They've always been within striking distance. Just the sheer volume and numbers that Adelaide are putting up are just absolutely mind-blowing. 65% from the field, 69% from three, 78% from free throw line, so that might be a bit of a criticism. And you look, Southside, though, has hit 54% from the field, only, and it's still not bad, 36% from three, and they're 89% from the free throw line. So super efficient basketball from both groups.
Yeah, it's not on any regular day. If you were shooting at 36% from the arc, you'll take that and say that's pretty decent. I'm happy with that. And then you compare it with 69%, you're like, oh geez, bit out of context.
But it's also that Southside started so slowly from three, whereas Adelaide started out hot and has really maintained that percentage for a majority of this game.
Yeah, there was a period earlier in the game where Flyers were 0 from 6, and now they're 5 from 14. So they're certainly making up for lost time.
The three-point shot is the great equalizer, isn't it? Andrews inside, tough catch for Bourne. They're going to get Potch on the foul. She felt like she got one on the chin there.
I would like to see that on the replay. Potch having to switch.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely contact there. Obviously not intentional or anything from Bourne, but pretty surprised to see Potch get called for that one. And now kicks it to the corner. Andrews fires a three. It's long. Heavy contact, somehow loose ball recovered by Pinot. Missed the bank shot. Maddie Rocci shaken up after that heavy contact. She is as tough as they come, Maddie Rocci.
And she does take some really heavy hits because she's always going at 100%. She's always super strong. We see it on the replay here. Yeah, they're both just colliding, going nearly at full pace. That is a heavy hit. Hopefully she's okay. She looks okay.
She is tough, Maddie Rocci. She's right. And you probably wouldn't know if she really hurt herself because she wouldn't show it either. And again, we're under 5 minutes to go. Both teams have not really gone that deep into their bench throughout 2.5 quarters of this game. Borlase with the left hand, it's short. Well defended by Southside. Now Rocci with it. Looking inside, Kunick. Outside call, pump fake. Fakes the pass and is fouled. I love that from Beck Cole. I love to see the aggressive play from her on the offensive end.
Yeah, Izzy, I'm not too sure. It wasn't really a closeout. It seemed like a kind of a desperate attempt to stop Cole from shooting, but she wasn't in any kind of defensive stance. Really scrambling on defense there for Adelaide, but very well exploited by the Flyers.
Cole now has 19 points to lead Southside. She's also got 7 assists, 2 rebounds, and 3 steals.
Yeah, she's a very fierce competitor. And if there isn't anyone to step up, you can guarantee Beck will.
And Beck comes up with another steal. Well read there. Borlase telegraphed that one. Reigning WNBL champions go inside to Potch. Kicks it to the corner. Loffridge draws the blocking foul on Borlase.
And I think Izzy is just asking the referees there just to watch the hook from Loffridge there, as you can see on the replay. But it's certainly getting very physical here in the third. Probably the most physical quarter we've seen so far in this game.
Well, you can really tell both teams want this win badly as Potch off of a beautiful baseline out of bounds. But here comes Adelaide on the run. No double team, great defense, but recovered well by Pinot. Bourne for 3 is long. Offensive rebound goes to Simons. Excuse me, Greiger.
And she did all that hard work to get that great O board, and putting up a 3 straight away is probably not the best idea.
Potch can't handle the pass. Flyers blew a great opportunity there as Potch had great position in the paint.
I think it would be good if one of the two teams could call a timeout in the next couple of minutes. Both teams have gone up and down a couple of possessions and haven't been probably the best execution in their half court. So it might be a good idea to call a timeout just to settle everyone down a bit and refocus.
It's a 4-point game. Adelaide has been in control for all of this game, really. Southside through Basham, jump shot hits.
That's a tough shot there from Basham, over a hand, fading away. Oof.
Basham has been excellent today again for Adelaide. She's got 12 points. Oh, against Basham. Draws the foul.
Again, she had her. Let's have a look on the replay where she kind of commits that foul. I think she kind of gets sucked into the fake at the start of that play in the high post, and then probably get sneaking the elbows in there a little bit.
There was just no help defense either. Really well read from Beck. Hits the first free throw. Second one good as well. Beck Cole now with 21 points. Just 1 point behind Izzy Borlase for the top scorer in the game. Adelaide leads by 4. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Basham shakes free, finds a cutting Bourne. Shuffled her feet and traveled. That's a turnover. And we said it about Adelaide. That is turnover now, number 14 for the game.
Yeah, that's way too many. I'm surprised Basham didn't take that shot. She did all the hard work and found herself open there for a nice shot there on the wing. That should be her bread and butter to shoot that.
Flyers now have an opportunity to cut further into their deficit. Offridge lost it off her foot, recovers. Rochi inside, Koenig rolls it in. It's a 2-point game.
Koenig so handy on the fadeaway off the 1 foot as well.
Bourne forced that one. Falcon off Cole, recovered by Borlase. Skip pass. Simon's corner 3 is long. Flyers can take the lead or tie it, but they turn it over.
They turn it over. We've seen that a couple of times from the Flyers. Their defense is just starting to get better and better in this third quarter. I think by switching everything and by putting a lot of pressure on the passing lane and those post catches, they haven't had to make major changes. It's just, you know, tidying it up and amping it up a little bit, and they've had great results. Now they're only down by 2.
Bourne crossing over, stops, and gets called for the offensive foul. You saw her extend the forearm right into the chest of Poch.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, if you're going to do that, try not to make it too obvious, especially in front of the referees. But, you know, Poch doing a good job being able to cover Izzy, just using her length, using her footwork, and that's really all it takes. Doesn't have to be too fancy.
Southside have done a great job here in the third quarter, holding Adelaide to 14 points after Adelaide scored 60 in the first half. Koenig, three-pointer is good, and Southside takes the lead.
I think that's the first time they've had the lead in the whole game, I think for the whole game, yeah.
I can't remember a time where Southside was in front, but they lead by 1. 1:25 to go in the third quarter. Borlase nearly lost it. 7 on the shot clock. Crosses over a few times, draws all the attention. Swings it. It ends up with Simons, but it's a shot clock violation.
What a beautiful defensive possession there from the Flyers. They were everywhere, switching everything, showing on everything. Great communication. That was probably their best defensive possession of the game.
Flyers have really dominated this third quarter. They're outscoring Adelaide 25-14. They've taken a 1-point lead. Rochi for 3 off the front of the rim. Borlase now walking it up court. Look at all the attention she's drawing. Misses the jump shot. Koenig cleans up the miss. Flyers are up 3 now.
Koenig now having 12 points in this quarter for the Flyers, taking her total now up to 24, I think.
Now working against Koenig. Draws the foul from Manuela Poch. And the Flyers defensively, you can see what they're trying to do. They're really focusing on Izzy Borlase and trying to force someone else to step up. And at the moment, with Bourne on the bench with a couple of fouls, Adelaide struggling.
Yeah, they really are. I think a lot of their scoring opportunities and that fluidity to their half-court offense that we've really grown to enjoy over this Hoopsfest tournament has really dried up. So Pinot there having to try and make something, starting on the one side of the floor, ending up on the other. But anytime Borlase makes any hint that she's going towards the basket, she is just met with a wall of defense. So yeah, Flyers defense have done a great job of limiting the Adelaide 36ers Lightning in this third quarter.
Pinot missed them both. Let's see if Flyers will get a good look at the basket here. Borlase too aggressive defensively, fouls Rochi. See the frustration on Izzy Borlase there, having a chat to the referees.
But yeah, it's Lightning, in foul trouble. Flyers opportunity to extend the lead now. I think the Flyers probably should have put it on the floor. I think Adelaide were in foul trouble with about 2 minutes 30 to go in this third. I think the Flyers probably could have started to look to penetrate a little bit earlier to draw more fouls, get to a few more free throws before this quarter ran out.
Rochi hits them both. Flyers up 5. Borlase with some time on the clock. Gets inside the half court. Nearly hit the 3. Recovered by Southside. And what a third quarter for the Flyers. They take the lead 79-74. It's three-quarter time. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with the final 10 minutes of action. Adelaide still alive for the Hoopsfest Championship. Do not miss this final quarter. Three-quarter time here at Hoopsfest. It was a huge third quarter and a barrage of three-point shooting from both teams, Jacinta.
Yeah, I can't tell you what was said in each change room at halftime, but both teams came out firing from the arc. 50% and 37%. Lightning, Flyers respectively. I mean, to be maintaining 50% from the arc at three-quarter time is really outstanding. And credit to the Flyers. They started very slow from the three-point line this game and managed to find their feet at the right time.
What a third quarter for the Flyers as well. They trailed the majority of the game, but once that three-point shot started to fall off the back of some excellent defense from Southside in that third.
Yeah, I think it was their defense that really turned it around for them. They got a lot of stops. They limited the Lightning to just 14 points in that third quarter and able to score 29 of their own. But I think it all really came from the defense. Even if it wasn't turnovers turning into points, it's probably boosted their confidence a lot more.
Yeah, we saw Alice Koenig there with that corner 3. She leads all scorers with 24 points. And you look at the balanced attack, Koenig's got 24, Beck Cole with 21, Maddie Rochi with 17, Poch has 8. It's been very, very efficient for the Southside Flyers. On the other side, Izzy Borlase was the real focus of that Southside defense in that third quarter. She's still stuck on 22. Southside made and did a great job in that third, keeping her quiet.
Yeah, anytime she touched the ball, there was like 3 defenders ready to kind of show in the lane, so it makes it very hard for Izzy to try and split defenders in the lane, use that Euro step when she's met with such a wall of defenders.
And just want to remind everyone, Adelaide still has an opportunity to win the Hoopsfest Championship. They only need to win this quarter and the game, and they will be the inaugural Hoopsfest champions. If they cannot do that, the championship will come to Queensland and will be sitting with the Townsville Fire. Southside gets a stop on the first possession of the fourth quarter. Then Roche is fouled by Izzy Borlase. It's going to be Borlase's 4th personal foul.
That's a foul for Borlase. For personal. Baseball.
Izzy's going to stay out there with 4. Cole pulls up for the jump shot, misses. Ends up with Roche, open 3. Rolls around and out of bounds. Off at Southside.
And Southside looking like they're getting a couple of fresh legs here early in the fourth, probably resting some of their main players and saving them for later in the game.
Shannon Duplessis out there for her first minutes for Southside. Kitty Young back out there as well. Here's Borlase. Finds Pinot, jump shot off the front of the rim. Roche with the rebound. Early kick ahead for Koenig. Lost it out of bounds.
Good intention there for Flyers. I think they've, we spoke about how much their defense has improved in this second half, but we've also seen them just very quickly throw it away after going to all that hard work to force a turnover.
Andrews working against Young, lost it out of bounds. Great defensive effort there from Nikita Young.
Yeah, guarding it, someone like Andrews isn't easy. But yeah, Young putting her body on the line, very nicely done.
Love the energy there. Love the full court pickup too.
Yes, absolutely. You don't see that enough anymore, do we?
Especially when the teams are in the lead. Here's Cole now, putting it on the deck. Roche, it's a shot clock violation. We're all surprised.
Yeah. I thought the shot clock would have reset after that out of bounds play with the turnover that Nikita Young had forced. So that was very short. We're playing 3x3 all of a sudden.
Bourne going to work with the hook shot, and that falls. She recognized the mismatch and went right at it.
Yeah, that looks like something she practices every day. That was so smooth.
Kidding. Ends up with Roche. 3 is up. Long. Loose ball recovered by Southside. Then they lose it right back to Adelaide. Andrews gets it to Bourne. Inside for Pinot.
Really good recognition there from Pinot in transition. Having that mismatch early.
Goes right inside with Roche on her hip.
Yeah. But a good foul from Roche. It's either that or get dunked on, so I think I'd rather give up a foul.
3-point lead for the Flyers. Tough catch for Pinot, a foul inside. Koenig cannot believe it. She's shocked that she picked up that foul.
On Koenig, that's 5 fouls.
Yeah, it looks like she was actually trying to get out.
That's her 5th foul as well, so Koenig really came alive in that third quarter, and unfortunately she's done for the evening.
Oh, that's a real shame. There's so much playing time and the Flyers really need her, but it's an opportunity for one of the other players to step up and get the win.
Basham for 3, hits it. We're tied at 79.
Here's Basham. If there's anyone that's going to be teaching the next generation how to shoot, it's her. The technique is wonderful.
Brooke Basham with 15 points now. Cole is blocked by Simons.
The bench is gets off the gets up for that one, understandably.
You don't see a three-point shot blocked like that often.
It's not especially from a point guard either.
Cole gets it right back. Double team. Watch. Going at the defense. Finishes strong.
That's a really tough finish.
Very impressive. And then Rochi steals the baseball pass. Southside has numbers, 4 on 3. Rochi puts it up, misses. Poch there to clean it up. And Willa Poch making an impact on the glass. Simon's working off the Bourne screen, finds Bourne rolling, puts it on the floor, ends up with Cano. 6 on the shot clock. Georgia, bank shot missed. Now Rochi settling into the half-court offense with the Flyers up 4. All inside, pass deflected out of bounds off of Simon's hands. It's going to stay with Flyers. 8 seconds to go on the shot clock.
This could be a real tipping point here for the Flyers. Keeping momentum here if they get a score.
Watch out to Rochi. Rochi gets inside, flips one up, and banks it home.
I think Simons was a little bit too concerned about the 3. And now Loffridge has got it.
Yeah, came up with the steal. Big block by Bourne on Duffy.
Gee whiz, that's sending a message, isn't it?
Very good recovery there from Izzy Bourne. Adelaide in a bit of strife, trailing by 6. She wants the screen, gets it from Poch. Attacks the paint, layup is strong. Simons pushing for Adelaide, finds Basham. Crossover, inside look is lost out of bounds. Goes off at Southside though, so it's gonna stay with Adelaide. You wanted that shot, didn't you?
I did. I really wanted that shot. The pass looked good, but I wanted that shot. I think if Basham had pass faked and made everyone commit to Bourne underneath, she would have had an even clearer shot.
Borlase missed the jump shot, her first really open looks in the second half.
Yeah, it didn't come easy either.
Certainly did not. Flyers up 6. Cole fires at 3. It's long. Adelaide's got to find some offense somewhere. Bourne short on the 3.
I think both teams are just kind of playing, not so much out of panic, but they're certainly rushing their shots at the moment. So it's a bit of reprieve here that Rochi is slowing it right down for the Flyers.
Flyers up 6. Somewhat in control. Cole, that's a tough look. And she gets it to drop.
That's a really tough look. She did a really good job of absorbing that contact from Basham, giving a shot that very friendly roll in the end.
8 points the lead now for Southside. Simons lost it, recovered by Loffridge. Here's Rochi. Bounces it, Poch, reverse layup, missed. Looks like she lost it on the way up.
I don't think she caught it properly, yeah, and it kind of followed through into her shot.
Greer missed a wide open layup. That was a big opportunity wasted for Adelaide.
Oh, someone needs to call a timeout, but I think each coach are very reluctant to in case they're probably going to need it in the stretch. But someone needs to kind of take control of the tempo of this game because it's getting a little bit wayward.
Rochi working against Basham. Now Cole with Simons on her. Goes to the step through, blocked again by Simons.
Yeah, she's doing an excellent job there on the perimeter so far.
Bourne on the wing. Versus it to Borlase. Adelaide needs a good look at the basket here. Can use some points. Foul on the aggressive contest there from Rochi.
I'm just noticing as well that Adelaide, you know, pretty much for most of the game up until, you know, they started to wobble a little bit in the third, they're holding onto the ball a lot longer than what they were in in yesterday's game and in the first half. Normally with their ball movement, they're making very, very quick decisions, but they're all just holding on to it a little bit longer, and it's making their offense quite stagnant.
Lays out to Bourne, 3 as it rolls off the rim. Well has gone dry for Adelaide.
Yeah, and they haven't really gotten a lot of scoring opportunities in the paint either, pretty much since the first part of this fourth quarter.
Southside defensively have been excellent here in the fourth quarter. And then offensively as well, as Lawfridge gets on the board. Flyers now up 10. They've held Adelaide to 5 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, when you say the scoring has dried up for the Lightning, I think you're 100% right there. They're not getting a lot of good looks that they were early in the game. Their fluidity and their freedom that we saw in their half-court offense has completely stopped. And it's all because of the Flyers' defense. They started switching everything. They started kind of showing their hands and bodies in the lane. And now the Lightning are a little bit too scared to try and penetrate. Or if they do, they're getting really caught on one side of the floor. Like a couple of times we've seen Simons in a two-man game get caught in the corner of the floor, and that has no options there for Adelaide.
And offensively, Southside putting the ball in the hands of champions. Rochi's stepping up, Cole's stepping up. We've seen Potch hit some big buckets. Koenig was great in that third quarter before she fouled out in the fourth. And the talent of the Flyers really stepped up offensively to go along with that defensive intensity as well. When you hold a team that scored 60 points at half, they're only at 79 now, 19 points total with 3 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, that is outstanding, and it's a true team effort. I think everyone on the Flyers did start the game at a high standard and a good intensity. It didn't really take anyone to kind of pull their teammates over the line. But I really like the look of Manuela Potch. She is just slotted into this rotation of the Flyers so nicely, swapping one Potch for the other. I just like how she's always in the right spot for the right time on the offensive end.
And a real presence on the glass and defensively as well. Done a good job against Izzy Bourne. Here's Bourne drawing a lot of attention. Rochi deflects it out of bounds.
And it was really interesting there. It's like they knew that play. They knew that Bourne was going to get it on the top. And Rochi came from the weak side actually to double her in her blind spot. And that meant that Bourne was unable to kind of get in a good scoring position. She couldn't even square up to the basket.
Rochi gets called for another foul. She took the brunt of that contact, but foul called against Maddie Rochi. Basham, quick catch and shoot 3. Rattles another one in.
Let's get Basham going a little bit. I mean, she is shooting a really high shooting percentage. I reckon Adelaide can perhaps start to use her more as a scoring option.
Basham guarding Rochi nearly at half court. Going inside to Podge. She swings it. Young kicks it out. Rochi thought about the 3, steps into a long 2 and rattles one in. Every time Adelaide hits, Southside responds.
And when I say that Basham's shooting at a high field goal percentage, that was just based on what I've seen. But looking at the stats, she's actually at 100%. She's 7 from 7.
You can't get any higher than that.
You definitely cannot. That includes 4 from 4 from the three-point line for Brooke Basham.
Yeah, you see it right there on the screen. 7 of 7 from the field. Perfect night on the offensive end for Basham, but they got to get some stops here defensively.
And Adelaide haven't really looked to push in transition this game either, which was their big strength last night.
Hodge traveled, so they get a turnover. And credit to Southside, though, defensively. Obviously, putting up 91 points is a lot. It's hard to run in transition when the opposition scoring as well as Southside has here tonight. Borlaise gets inside, hangs, and hits. Izzy Borlaise with the jump shot. Under 2 to go, a 7-point lead for Southside. Can they spoil the party out at Hoopsfest for the Adelaide Lightning? Rochi double team, in a bit of trouble. Splits the defense, nearly turned it over. Potch somehow recovers and is fouled.
Oh, the Adelaide nearly had that turnover. That was a really, really nice trap.
Really good job by Roche using her footwork, though, to split that double.
Yeah. And the trap was so far away from the basket. Like, you've got to make that a really tight trap. You shouldn't allow your player to be able to split it, especially so far away, because they are essentially, they have nowhere to go. Her dribble was picked up. Her court vision is impaired. But yeah, here's Poch to save the day.
It's her first free throws of the evening. Poch missed the first one.
Flies on 4 fouls as well, so Adelaide need to start really trying to penetrate, putting their defense under pressure and drawing some fouls and chip away at this deficit on the free throw line.
8-point lead for Southside. Cano going to work, gets inside. Bank shot missed. Roche stepped out of bounds, going to stay with Adelaide.
It's all right, you'd rather have them a baseline inbound play, because otherwise I think that went right under Adelaide's basket for an easy layup.
Inbound to Bourne. Orlay's wide open, pump fakes, then fires the 3. Offensive rebound, Pinot, and she's fouled.
Doing all the hard work here in the 4th, Pinot.
8-point deficit for Adelaide, 1:10 to go in the game. It's not over just yet, but these are huge free throws as Pinot hits the first one. Adelaide has to, they would have to win this game to win Hoopsfest. Got a lot of work to do. Pinot goes 1 of 2. We're approaching the 1-minute mark in the game. Adelaide trails by 7. Roche shakes free, deflected and stolen. Here comes Adelaide. Orlays has it, crosses over, picks up the dribble, hangs, and rolls it in. 5-point game now.
Much better there from Adelaide. They've just got to get stops. They've got to run. They're not going to get layups like that. You've got to put the defense under pressure and get to the free throw line. It might be a little bit too late now with Flyers with this 2-for-1 opportunity.
Adelaide has fouls to give. Pinot trying to draw the charge, but gets called for the block.
Yeah, I think if Pinot was a little bit a step ahead, I think that would have been a charge.
She kind of leaned into it, didn't she?
Yeah.
She read it well, but initiated the contact.
Yeah, that's right.
3rd team foul on Adelaide. 37.1 seconds to go in the game. Southside leads by 5. Reminder, if Adelaide wins this game, they win the Hoopsfest championship and the $10,000 prize that comes along with it. Oh, guarded by Basham. Deflected out of bounds off Pinot. 6 on the shot clock, though, for Southside.
I think Pinot was asking the question if that was actually off Poch. A little bit tricky there to see from our angle.
Inside, Poch lays it home, and I think that's going to do it, Jacinta.
The heroics of Poch. She had 6 points in this 4th quarter to make sure the Flyers sealed the deal, but look at Pinot.
She banks the shot home, a 4-point game. Roche working hard. Adelaide's got to do something here. They've got to either foul, they lose Poch inside. She missed the layup, gets her own rebound, puts it up, missed that one. Short jump shot there will seal the win for the Southside Flyers. They spoil the party for Adelaide, and they hand the inaugural Hoopsfest championship to the Townsville Fire, and the Southside Flyers will move to 2-0, a very successful Hoopsfest for Southside.
Yeah, absolutely, and like we said in the preview, they've only got 7 rostered players so far. They've still got the likes of Tara Reid and Carly Ernst to join the roster, as well as unannounced players. So for this core group, being able to lead the way here and set the tone for the rest of the season for the Flyers is a very positive sign. But I really like how much youth they've got in this Flyers program that they had sticking around, coming up through that pathway and just extending the depth of the program.
Really good second half for Southside. They come away with a 6-point win, 96-90, and it was a fantastic game of basketball. Very high-scoring affair in the first half, particularly Jacinta.
Yeah, absolutely. And then everyone had a bit of a breather and whatever else at halftime, and we saw that obliteration from the three-point line early in the third. But putting up some numbers for the Flyers, Beck Holt had 23 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, and 5 steals. I mean, she's just a warrior. She's going to do whatever it takes to get the win. And Koenig, if my math serves me correctly, she also had 24 points.
24, yep. 5 rebounds as well for Alice Koenig.
Very nice. Rochi with 21 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds, and 3 steals. And Potch, 15 and 6 from her. And over for Adelaide, Izzy Borlays led her team with 26 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and 4 steals, and 2 blocks if you don't mind, shooting at 50% overall. Vaughan with 20 and 9, Pinot with 19 and 6, and Basham 18 and 4 assists and 2 rebounds, shooting at 100%. Get Basham the ball, I say.
What a game, what a performance from the reigning WNBL champion Southside Flyers. They made it tough for themselves in the first half, but really turned the screws on the defensive end and got themselves back into this game. They're going to come away with a 96-90 win over the Adelaide Lightning. A lot of positives for both teams, a lot of good things to take away from Hoopsfest for both of these groups, and a couple exciting teams to look forward to in the WNBL regular season.
Yeah, that's right, because Adelaide still have to add Bree Turner, Steph Talbot, and Japrice Dean to their squad. So they're already looking so good. You add that big three into the mix and sticking to the systems that Coach Nat Hurst has already implemented. I'm really looking forward to when both of these teams meet in the regular season.
Well, that's only game 1 of 2 for us tonight. This one was fantastic, a 96-90 win for the Southside Flyers. We're going to wrap it up, but we're going to come back with you shortly. We've got the UC Caps taking on Geelong United live from Bendat Basketball Centre in Perth, Western Australia. It is Hoopsfest. We do have to congratulate the Townsville Fire on winning the inaugural Hoopsfest Championship. But don't go anywhere. Actually, you should. Get a snack, get a drink, have a breather. But we'll come back with us. The UC Capitals taking on Geelong United shortly. Thank you for tuning in. For myself, John Guarner, for my co-commentator, Jacinta Govin. We'll see you shortly for game number 2. We're going to wrap up Hoopsfest in style.